Yeah, students, now we will see few more problems on special cases. Projections of simple solids. This is the syllabus. In syllabus, it is mentioned as rotating object method. It is same as change of position method. A square pyramid of base side 40 mm and axis length 65 mm rests on HP on one of its base corners in such a way that the base edges containing the resting corner is equally inclined to HP. So it is also a similar kind of earlier problem. It is resting on corner. So the square we have to draw its orientation in proper way. When the solid axis is inclined at 40 degrees to HP and parallel to VP. So solid axis is 40 degrees to HP. So it is a straightforward problem. Only orientation you have to do properly. So this is how you should orient. So in diamond shape. Now this is the corner, and these two resting corners, resting edges are equally inclined to HP. So that way you have to draw this, and this is the correct orientation for this given condition. So this is 40 mm. Now this is the pyramid. Now this is the pyramid. A, B dash, D dash, and C dash. Now complete the pyramid. Now draw this right in such a way that the axis is making 40 degrees to HP. So you can use trigonometry concept also, right? You can draw C A dash to C dash first, and then you can complete this view, right? This is, you can measure OA and you can cut two arcs from C dash and A dash, and you can complete, you can get O dash, right? And then you can draw the axis line. So anyway you can proceed, right? So only thing is you have to reproduce this view here in proper way, right? So the corresponding projectors you have to draw from final top view and a tilted front view, right? So get these points. So this is A1 and this is B1 and this is O1 and this is C1 and we have D1, right? Connect all the outermost points with thick lines. Now it is resting on C. So connecting lines to C will be obviously dotted lines. They are invisible edges. So C1 to D1, C1 to B1 should be dotted lines, and C1 to O1 is also dotted line, and A to O, it should be thick line, right? If you draw thick line, it will overlap the dotted line, so no issues, no problem, you can leave it, right? So this is the final top view. So this is how you should draw the orientation if it is resting on corner. So a pentagonal pyramid of base edge 30 mm and axis length 60 mm rests on one of its base corners. It is also resting on corner on HP in such a way that two base edges containing the resting corner is equally inclined to HP. Draw its projections when its solid axis is inclined at 30 degrees to HP and parallel to VP. Draw its top and front views. So it is very similar to earlier problem. On right hand side you take the corner and draw the pentagon, true shape. So this is the corner I am talking about, and this is pyramid. You should draw thick lines, right? So give notations A, B, C, D, and O. So draw its simple front view. So this is the simple front view, right? So now I have to reproduce this view. So that will be my tilted view, right? Solid axis is inclined at 30 degrees to HP, right? Solid axis is inclined to 30 degrees to HP. Now I have reproduced this view here, right? So all along we have reproduced this. So now you can easily do this, right, with this much of practice. So you can draw thin lines. You can draw thin lines from simple top view, and the tilted front view also you draw the projectors and give the mark the points, and all outermost points should be connected with thick line, and D is here. D is connected to C, D is connected to E, and those should be dotted lines, and D is connected to O also, that is also dotted line, right? So A is connected to O, thick line. A is connected to O, B is connected to O, that is also thick line, right? Already EC is connected to O here as extreme lines, so that already connected with thick lines, we can leave as it is. And E is connected to D, that should be dotted line, and D is connected to O, that should be dotted line, and these are the dotted lines. Whatever line is connecting to D, they will be invisible edges. So this is the final top view. Draw the projections of hexagonal pyramid. It is hexagonal pyramid of base height 25 mm and axis length 55 mm, resting on the HP on one of its base corner. It is also corner, so on right side you take corner. So that is very simple. The axis of the solid is inclined at 30 degrees to HP, but that statement is missing here, even though that statement is not given. The two resting edges which contains the resting corner is equally inclined to HP statement is missing. So even though it is missing, it will come in that way only, in that fashion only. We will see that. So on right hand side you take the corner. So this is the corner, and now these two edges, right, will be equally inclined to HP, right, when you tilt it. So give notations. Since it is pyramid, you have to do the thick lines, and from here to here thin line, and then draw the axis line. Now complete the pyramid with given height 55 mm. Draw the axis and reproduce this view here, right? You can use the trigonometry concept, that will be more simpler, right? Or if you can use drafter effectively, you can do it in no time, right? You can easily do it, right? So this is the final tilted view, and the final top view can be drawn here, right? This is A1. Mark the points, only you should be very careful while marking the dotted and thick lines. So now all outermost points should be connected with thick lines, and F1 to O1, A1 to O1, B1 to O1, right? So these can be joined with dotted lines. So C to D, E to D are dotted lines. D to O is a dotted line, but it is overlapped by this thick line, right? It is already connected here, so no need to worry about it, you can leave. And a cone of base diameter 50 mm, and altitude is nothing but height is 70 mm given. Rests on the HP on a base circumferential point with its axis is inclined at 30 degrees to HP and parallel to VP. Draw its front view and top view, right? So it is cone, so it is resting on, definitely it will rest on only point. It is circumferential point, so there is no edge for this. So divide this into 12 equal parts, and give the notations, and draw the simple front view. Now this front view should be reproduced. So these should be thin lines only. Don't draw any thick lines, because these are imaginary generators. So for cone and cylinder, imaginary generators should be drawn with thin line only. Don't draw any thick line. So this is G, and this is dotted line, and this is a reproduced view and tilted view. And now draw the simple draw the projectors from simple top view as well as tilted front view. So mark the points A, B, C, D, E, F up to 12th point F. L point is the 12th point, and O dash. Now all outermost points should be connected with thick lines, and this is the outer lines, and this is not visible, right? So it should be connected with G is the point where it is resting, and connecting to G from here, from middle, that is JD, right? It should be dotted line. So draw the dotted line. So this is the final top view. This is the final top view. Now you can draw generators with thin lines, and don't draw any thick lines, right? So this is the final top view. This is the final top view, students. Even if you don't connect these generators, nothing wrong, right? But only thing is you have to show this dotted line. It is very important. So 26th problem. It is a square pyramid, right? It is a square pyramid of base height 40 mm and axis length 65 mm, rests on the HP on one of its base corners. It is resting on base corner, so it is a square pyramid. So you have to draw the diamond shape in such a way that the slant edge containing the resting corner is perpendicular to HP, right? The slanting edge, right? The slant edge is kept perpendicular to HP and parallel to VP. So in earlier case, the slant face we have kept perpendicular to HP and we have drawn the projections. In similar way, we are going to do here. Only difference is the slant edge, right? The slant edge is perpendicular to HP. So we are going to stand it. We are going to make it to stand on slant edge. So that is the only difference between the earlier problems and this problem. So it is easy to solve. Draw the diamond shape. This is the corner. Now this corner is O. This corner is the now very interesting corner. So only with respect to that we are going to draw the slant edge perpendicular to HP, right? So this is 65 mm. This is O dash, A dash, C dash, right? And connect this, and you have B within bracket D. D is invisible point. Now this is OC, right? So OC is made into a straight line, right? So now this is the base AC. In two ways you can do. You can measure this angle, right? You can measure this angle and you can draw it. Otherwise you can measure this distance and you can measure this distance. You can cut two arcs and you can complete this corner, right? You can get this corner. Now it is easy to draw the axis, right? So we have a line here, so that will overlap this axis line, so no problem. And we can the rest of the problem you have to follow the usual steps, right? So this is OC. You will get OC here, right? C is within bracket. So here these are the points we get, and it is like a diamond only. And now this is BD, right? B is connected to O, and this is B is connected to O, D is connected to O, A should be connected to O, and only this much. Only this is the final top view. There are no dotted lines, right? They are overlapped, so no need to worry about dotted lines. And now this is the simple problem, very easily you can solve. And 27th problem, a pentagonal pyramid of base edge 30 mm and axis length 60 mm rests on one of its base corners on the HP in such a way that the two base edges containing the resting corner is equally inclined to HP, right? So this condition is given. Definitely it will be satisfied if you take corner on right hand side. Draw its projections when the slant edge is slant edge containing the resting edge, right? The slant edge containing the resting edge is perpendicular to HP and parallel to VP. So take a corner on right side and complete the simple front view, sorry, simple top view. It is pyramid, and now you draw this simple front view also, right? This is the simple front view with the height 60 mm. Now this is the OD, right? This is the OD, so that should be drawn thick line and straight at 90 degrees. Now you complete this view and you reproduce this view with respect to this vertical line, right? So the corresponding top view is very simple, and you get 2 points here, right? O and D. So this is my the top view, right? This is the top view. So now E is connected to O, C is connected to O, A should be connected to O, B should be connected to O, right? So this is the final top view. This is the final projection. So that is the problem number 27. 28. Draw the projections of the hexagonal pyramid of base side 25 mm and axis length 55 mm rests on the HP and one of its base corner, and the slant edge containing the resting corner is perpendicular to HP. So it is also similar kind of problem. Only difference is it is hexagonal pyramid. Just we will rush through and see how it will look like.
and draw the simple front view on top view. And now OD is the slant edge. So with respect to this, now it is made, and now this is the tilted front view. For this, corresponding top view should be projected from simple top view and tilted front view, and this is A dash, A1, B1, and these are the points, and this itself is the O1. So connect all the outermost points with thick lines, right? And F to D, right? F to O, A to O, B to O should be drawn with thick lines. So that is the problem number 28. Next problem, a cone, right? So now it is cone. A cone of base diameter 50 mm and axis length 60 mm has one of its base circumferential points on HP. Draw its projections when one of the generators of the cone is perpendicular to HP. Right, so one of the generator is perpendicular to HP. It is obviously the extreme generator. On right hand side we can take, right? So these are the cone points. Divide this into 12 equal parts, and this is my OG. I am going to take OG as vertical to HP, right? Vertical to HP, and OG is vertical. Now reproduce this view here, and the corresponding points you mark here, and draw the projectors from simple top view and tilted front view, and get the remaining points here. So this is very simple, and OG is coming here, right? OG is coming here, and now draw with a thick curve, right? It should be thick curve, right? So now you can draw the slant generators, right? It can be thin lines, right? These can be thin lines. And next is problem number 30. So a square pyramid of base side 40 mm and axis length 65 mm rests on the HP on one of its slant edges. Draw its projections when the solid axis is parallel to VP. Right? So this is square pyramid. Solid axis is parallel to VP, right? So this is it is resting on slant edge. So it is sleeping position, but it is sleeping on slant edge, right? So we have seen the sleeping position, and where the solid slept on slant face, whereas here it is resting on slant edge. So that is obviously OC, right? It is OC. I am going to tilt it onto my OC, right? So here this is the OC. This is OC distance. Now measure this distance and measure this distance also. Cut two arcs and get A dash, right? Get A dash. So A1 dash. Now this is the slept position, right? So it is sleeping on OC. It is sleeping on slant edge. In previous problems, right, we have seen sleeping on a slant face, right? That is the difference between that problem and this problem. And mark the points. So connect all the outermost points with the thick lines. And A is here. A is connected to OD, OB, AD, AB, and also AO, right? So AO should be thick line, AD should be thick line, AB should be thick line, right? So C is here. C to O is an invisible edge that should be drawn with the dotted line, right? So now A is connected to O, and A to O should be connected with thick line, right? Thick line. So only this much is becoming a dotted line because this line is overlapped here, right? So this is problem number 30. It is sleeping on slant edge. So 31, right? A pentagonal pyramid of base side 30 mm and axis length 55 mm rests on the ground on one of its lateral edges. So it is pyramid, but it is sleeping on lateral edge. So when it is sleeping on lateral edge, it means that you have to take the corner, right? On right side you should take the corner, and in such a way that the triangular face containing the resting edge is equally inclined to HP. So that obviously will be satisfied. Draw the projections when the solid axis is parallel to VP. So this is the pyramid, pentagonal pyramid. Now these two slant edges will be equally inclined to HP, right? Equally inclined to HP. So that condition will be automatically satisfied. So don't think too much about that, right? And A, B, C, D, A up to B up to E, right? You give notations and draw its front view, right? Draw its front view. It is a pyramid, right? So it is height is given 55 mm. Now you make it to sleep on OD, right? And reproduce the view, right? You reproduce the view and draw the projectors from simple top view and draw the projectors from simple tilted front view. Right, now get the all the points, get all the points here, right? Connect outermost points with thick lines, and you have AB here. So E to A should be thick line, A to B should be thick line, B to C should be thick line, A to O should be thick line, and B to O should be thick line, and D to O, right? D to O should be dotted line, right? Should be dotted line. So this is the final projection in top view. So now the slant faces ODE and ODC are equally inclined to HP. So that condition will be automatically satisfied. So this is the problem, and this is how you should solve this problem. So 32nd problem. A hexagonal pyramid of base height 30 mm and axis length 60 mm rests on the HP on one of its slant edges in such a way that the triangular face containing the resting edge is equally inclined to HP, and this is also say similar problem, and it is resting on the slant edge, right? This is the slant edge and hexagonal pyramid. It is like earlier problem only. Draw the simple front view on top view and make it to sleep on OD, right? And you draw the tilted view here, tilted front view, and draw the front view on top view and get all the points, right? All the points here. Connect all the outermost points with thick lines, all outermost points with thick lines, right? So EO and CO are invisible edges, and those two should be drawn with dotted line, and here FA and A to B should be connected with thick line, and A to O should be thick line, but D to O is a dotted line, right? Is a dotted line, but this thick line is overlapping on this dotted line, so no need to worry about that. And this is the final top view. It is 33rd problem. A cone of base diameter 50 mm and axis length, the height is 60 mm, has one of its generators on HP with solid axis parallel to VP. So one of its generators on HP means the extreme generator is lying on the HP. It means that it is sleeping on ground, right? It is sleeping on ground, right? On its generator, extreme generator. Draw thin lines only. Divide this into 12 equal parts. Draw its front view and simple top view, right? So now this is the sleeping position, and it is resting on one of its extreme generators. So now draw the get the all the points in final top view, and now this is the sorry, point G should be here, right? So this is outermost point should be connected, and here this is visible. When you see from top, this elliptical shape is visible, and now the remaining can be connected with thin lines. No need to connect with the dotted lines. There are no invisible generators, no need to draw them, right? So this book can be referred. We stop here. A few more problems we will see in next session.